Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver champagne.
That's a cool little song, I like that one. Catchy. Still got that song stuck in my head from Halloween 3. Man, that fucking song won't leave my head. Oh god, I wasn't lying when I said it was catchy. Oh my god, I can't get that song out of my head. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! What is up everyone, Movie Worm back again with another review, and it's going to be for the 1982 film Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, and it's directed by Tommy Lee Wallace and stars Tom Atkins and Stacey Nelkin. This tells the story of a toy company who make masks for kids on Halloween, yet there may be more to it than meets the eye. Welcome back to my Halloween review series everyone, and we are at the third instalment, The Night Nobody Came Home. Now, I've got to be honest with you guys, out of the whole franchise, this was the film that I was looking forward to the most. One, because I'd never seen it, and this was a first time watch for me, and I'd always wanted to, it's always intrigued me. But two, I've heard a lot of people do actually like this film. I know it gets a bit of hate as well, but I always thought that was because Michael Myers wasn't in this movie, and that is probably understandable. You go to cinema back in 1982 and you expect to see a Halloween movie with Michael Myers carving people up, and it just turns out to be something else. I can understand why people do not like that. So I was willing to look past that because a lot of people over time have sort of warmed to this movie, and try to detach it from the Halloween franchise because it's a totally different story. So what did I think of Halloween 3 on this first time watch? Let's find out. First off, I really did like the idea and concept around this story. A mask maker, a sadistic toy company owner, who wants to round up thousands of kids on Halloween night by killing them, by tricking them to wear these masks, is about as sinister as it gets, and I was all on board for that. I mean, I already knew what this movie was about, and it's a 40-year-old film, for Christ's sake. I have looked into it, but I was already getting invested. Seeing these people who know a lot about this toy company, or ex-employees or whatever, being chased down by these androids because they might talk to people and let the word loose of what's happening there. I was getting all on board for that, and I thought, this is going in directions that I want to see. Plus the music just hit me hard. When the film started, it kind of reminded me of this creepy play on the original Terminator theme. And it was basically just screaming out of my TV set that you're watching a horror movie here, because I just really made my skin crawl, this music. And that was another thing that got me right in the mood for Halloween 3. And I really did enjoy the slow build-up of the story and what it was going for. This young girl who seeks the help of Tom Atkins because they both believe something isn't right with this toy company, with the rumours and things that are happening in the surrounding area. So they want to get to the bottom of it. And this young girl has actually lost her father, and she believes this toy company is responsible. So they set out to this town called Santa Mira to investigate this toy company where it's based. And the town is basically empty when they get there. It's kind of a ghost town. No one's really outside to welcome them or anything like that. And there's a curfew coming out of the speakers telling everyone they've got to get inside. And it just had this really creepy ass vibe going for it. Tommy Lee Wallace definitely nailed the atmosphere here, I feel. And it just felt like a pure horror film. Kind of like the theme tune did. Saying to me, this is pure horror. These scenes as well let me know that I was in a horror movie. I also really like these android characters who are walking around, like I mentioned before. But when I mentioned like this Terminator theme type music, that's what these motherfuckers definitely are, because they're going around to anyone who knows anything about this toy company and literally just ripping their fucking heads off. So Halloween 3 has a lot of cool things going for it, and these are definitely one of them. I think they're, these really good side villains in the movie. And one of the more memorable things about Season of the Witch. Speaking of the kills, there's some really weird ones here. There's a woman who gets this laser and it kind of penetrates her eye by accident by the look of it. But it's basically just sort of caves her face in. And it was kind of strange, but, at the same time, a cool kill. But one of the most memorable ones for me was this kid who's like a guinea pig, this toy company. And it kind of shows the viewer what's going to happen on Halloween night with these kids who put these masks on. And they give this kid a mask, and basically he's locked in this room with his family. And the mask just starts to, close in on his face and starts melting his face and stuff. And the kid sort of just dies on the floor and drops dead. And all these snakes and bugs are coming out the mask. And like I said, it's kind of weird, but it was very, very effective at the same time. I also thought Daniel O'Reilly as Cochrane was a great villain for this movie. He's very, very casual and soft-spoken and just seems kind of nice on the outside, but really his main goal is to sacrifice thousands of children to this witch on Halloween night, so you don't get much more sinister than that now, do you? Like I said, the androids are the side villains because this guy is the big dog, and I think I just have a little bit more love for him, actually, because I just think he's a wonderful actor. But my favourite movie is RoboCop, and he plays the old man in that, so it was nice to see him in something else here, apart from RoboCop 1 and 2, because I think he's a wonderful actor. There's a couple of cool little Easter eggs in here. It was nice to see Nancy Kyes, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who played Annie from the first Halloween film, as Tom Atkins' wife in this. That was a cool little throwback. I also like to see Halloween 1978 being advertised on the TV, because it was going to be playing on TV that night. So, Michael Myers is in this movie technically, but only for a split second. I bet audiences at the cinema were really, really confused back in the day at this. Now, this is a bit of a mixed bag for me, but the song about Halloween and the Shamrock, the Silver Shamrock advertisement is a cool, catchy little song in this, and I bet it brings fond memories to those who love this movie, and every time they hear it, they probably just want to watch Halloween 3 Seasons of the Witch if they're fans of this film. And I thought it was good whilst watching the movie, but my god, 3 or 4 days fucking later, it's still stuck in my head. So if this is a first time watch review, be prepared, because you're going to be hearing that song for a good few days, trust me. Oh my god, it's in my head now, actually. Just talking about it is making me listen to that song. However, there are some things that I really did not like about this movie. The first 30 minutes of this build-up, which I really enjoyed, tends to drag on for its own good. In fact, it carries on for almost the entire film. Yes, we do hear the ins and outs of this toy company and what these androids are really up to. Everything is revealed to us slowly, but it's all done at just such a slow pace, and here in little snippets here and there, and it still just feels like a mystery movie even before the last 10 minutes, and it just becomes very prolonged and kind of dull. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of bored throughout a lot of the runtime here. I mean, the movie ended up only being 1 hour and 30 minutes, but for me it seemed over 2 hours. It was just that prolonged of waiting for something to happen. It almost needed Michael Myers, dare I say. I also could not get behind the character of Tom Atkins, who plays Dr. Chalice here. Now, Tom Atkins always puts in a good performance in these horror movies from the early 80s and stuff, but it's his personality in this movie of this character that I just could not get behind whatsoever. He's at work whacking women on the arse, saying, "Oh, I should have married you." And I get it was a little bit more accepted back then compared to today, but that's not the point. The point is that he's just sort of doing this all the time. He phones other women up at work, and he's asking for favours, and he goes, "Oh, I'd do anything for you" on the phone. And you've got to remember that he's married with a wife and 2 kids here. And later on, he goes to look for this young girl's dad. And that night, it centres around these 2 characters. That night, he's just boning her all night in the hotel room. And I'm thinking, am I meant to get behind this guy? Also, the ending of this film just felt a little silly to me. Ellie, who is revealed to be an android, the main character of the film alongside Tom Atkins, just felt really, really off. Now, I looked this up online because I was really confused whether she was an android all along or is she made into one. And a lot of people do suggest that she is made into one when she goes missing for a little bit of the movie there. But the film felt like it was saying to me that she was an android all along, even though she acts 100% different to all the other androids. Now, many of you will probably have your own theories in the comments. I get that. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. But even online, people seem to be a little bit confused with this. And I'm going to have to lean towards the fact that she was actually made into this android towards the end of the movie when she went missing, because of the fact that she just acts so normal for the rest of the film. It's a pretty bit of a head scratcher, that one. However, the final climax with Dr. Chalice on the phone screaming, get the advert off, going, "Stop it," when the advert's about to play, and kill all these kids with the masks on, that was an awesome ending. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, the ending for me, but I just couldn't get on board with Ellie being that android, really. It was just a little bit confusing for me. And if Ellie becoming an android was a little bit too out there, the fact that they had to steal a big stone from Stonehenge and then move it all the way to the US without anyone noticing for part of this witchcraft thing that they're doing at the end, it was just kind of dumb to me. Couldn't you have thought of something a little bit more practical to make this work? Look, this was a very good and cool concept for me. I like the fact that John Carpenter wanted to do one of these every year with a new story and stuff, but I don't think it was ever going to work because people had just, leaned towards Michael Myers so much with the first 2 Halloween films. It's a good idea, but maybe they should have titled it something else. But then again, I really don't know if it would have got the cult following it has today because it has Halloween in the title, which is such a famous franchise. I don't know. It's all ifs and buts, really. But for me, this is just a little bit too dull and boring and not executed very well for the great idea it had going for it. I'm just going to go ahead and make this movie now. I'm going to give Halloween 3 Season of the Witch a 5.5 out of 10. I'm kind of glad I'm going into Halloween 4 with Michael Myers coming back. Even though I was really looking forward to watching this film and giving it a chance, knowing that Michael Myers wasn't in it, I'm definitely more up for Halloween 4 now. Okay guys, at the end of these reviews I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now a fun fact for Halloween 3 is that around 55 minutes of this runtime, Chalice is on the phone and the operator keeps talking to him when he's trying to get this call to go out to Santa Maria, and that operator's voice is in fact Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay guys, hope you all enjoyed this review. Don't forget to check out the rest of my Halloween review series. The playlist will be down below with all my Halloween reviews in there. And we've got Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, coming up next. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Give me your thoughts on Halloween 3 down below. And thanks so much guys. Take it all easy and I'll see you all in the next video.